Hello, people of the future. As I record this video, I am hoping for something good to happen. And if you're seeing this, that means the good thing happened and changes are coming. Good changes. And I am super excited to tell you about those changes and the good thing that happened. But in order for any of that to mean anything to you, I have to tell you about the happiness machine, what it is, and why I've decided to more or less turn it off this summer on my own YouTube channel. Just so you know, they say filmmaking is problem solving. I've tried to record this video 3 times now, and every single night it's like super windy. So I'm talking into my phone under a towel. So hopefully this sounds okay. This is like the best I could come up with. It's interesting to think about us as people. We are basically miasmas. We are accumulations of all the people we're closest to and all the artwork that we care the most about. A huge part of me comes from this book. This is a book by Ray Bradbury, same guy that wrote Fahrenheit 451. It's called Dandelion Wine, and in its most simple description, it's basically about summer 1928 through the eyes of a kid. And if that sounds boring to you, I guess sort of justified, but you're wrong. It's a really, really good book. It's been my favorite book for as long as I can remember. The first time I ever heard it, my mom read it to me. I did my senior book report on it when I was in high school. I read it several times through college, and I've read it several times since. So huge impact this book has made on me. And there are a couple chapters that stand out more than others, chapters I'll come back to time and again. And one of them is about Leo Hoffman's happiness machine. So the character of Leo Hoffman is basically the local inventor, I guess. And one day he's sitting at the dinner table with his wife. And I'm going to spoil this chapter, just so you know, just a heads up. Not the whole book, just a chapter. But he's sitting at the dinner table with his wife, and he has the idea, what if I made a machine that simulates happiness? All the most beautiful things you could experience in the world, the most incredible sights, the best smells, the best sounds, and I just put them all into one machine that anyone could experience. And he gets hyper fixated on this idea, and he starts getting to work creating this happiness machine. And over the course of however long it takes him to make it, it's taking a little bit of a toll on the family. He's obsessed with the idea of the happiness machine. But after a certain amount of time, it comes to completion. He's done. And he is so excited to show his wife what he's been working on. So he sits her down in the happiness machine, turns it on, and just waits. The whole time, the expectations and the excitement is completely overwhelming. And the experience ends for his wife. She steps out of the machine and she's crying. And this is what she says. Leo, the mistake you made is you forgot some hour, some day. We all got to climb out of that thing and go back to the dirty dishes and the beds not made. While you're in that thing, sure, a sunset lasts forever almost. The air smells good and the temperature is fine. All the things you want to last. But outside, the children wait on lunch, the clothes need buttons, and then, let's be frank, Leo, how long can you look at a sunset? Who wants a sunset to last? Who wants perfect temperature? Who would notice? Better for a minute or two a sunset. After that, let's have something else. People are like that, Leo. How could you forget? Sunsets we always liked because they happen once and go away. But Lena, that's sad. No, if the sunset stayed and we all got bored, that would be real sadness. So 2 things you did you should never have. You made quick things go slow and stay around. You brought things far away to our backyard where they don't belong, where they just tell you, no, you'll never travel, Lena Hoffman. Paris you'll never see. Rome you'll never visit. But I always knew that. So why tell me? Better to forget and make do, Leo. Make do, eh? So I'm in an interesting position, along with a bunch of other people, but I'm not just a consumer of media and content. I'm also a maker. And something that this book helped me to realize is that comes with responsibility. My personal goal as a creative person is to make something someday in some form like this book. I want to make something that means something to somebody deeply. It's just sort of the trajectory I've always been on. It's always been my dream. And because of that, I have to be very conscious about what it is I'm making. And part of that is just being critical of my past body of work. And when I look critically at some of the videos I've made in the past, and then I look forward and think, okay, well, what do I want this to look like, down the road? One thing I'm reminded of is kind of the happiness machine. At its worst, I think my work resembles the happiness machine a lot. And I have to ask myself the question, what exactly is the good of travel and adventure content anyway? I mean, sure, I have been in situations where seeing a video of a faraway, amazing place has motivated me and inspired me to make decisions that hopefully put me on the trajectory to experience things like that. But overall, I tend to see a gap in the available content online. And it seems like what exists right now has a huge emphasis on the future, has a huge emphasis on what you could someday see, what you could someday do, or even worse, what someone else will someday do and that you'll get to watch. And I realized I wanted to make videos about what's happening here and now. I think the two most beautiful words back to back in the whole language or in any language ever are here and now. And it's become important to me to make at least a couple videos that don't make you think about some other place and some other time. They just make you think about what's currently happening. And that doesn't necessarily mean it all has to be positive. Not everything is always good all the time. But I do think everything that's happening currently is worth paying attention to all the time. So I wrote 4 videos. I wrote 4 videos as a series. The series name is The American Stanza. And I like the name a lot because obviously each video isn't a stanza. They're all going to be longer than a line. They're probably going to be about 4 minutes each. But each one serves as a metaphorical stanza in a poem, metaphorical poem that's meant to commemorate summer 2024. The same way that this book commemorates summer 1928. I want to make something that encapsulates what I'm experiencing right now in the most sincere way I can. The difficulty with that is making it interesting. I think that's part of the reason why there's not a bunch of videos about what I'm going to be making videos about this summer on the internet. But part of the way I want to do that is I want to shoot the entire series on film. I think it just means a lot more that way. It's a very difficult medium to work in. It looks really good. It feels very sincere. There's a lot of physicality behind it. It's literally chemicals getting color burnt into them. And so I wanted to shoot the whole thing on film. And so the good thing that happened, if you're seeing this video, is all the footage from the first episode came back and looks great and is currently being edited and is scheduled to be uploaded next week. And so things are changing on my YouTube channel. I don't want to be, at least this summer, I don't want to be someone who's just making happiness machine content. I want to be someone that is pointing at something that my aim is like 95% of people. I want to make videos about things that 95% of people can see in their own life and feel something about, be it good or bad or whatever. I don't know what the feelings you're going to feel are, but if it's anything like what this book has meant to me, like this book just made me realize how valuable my current life is, and I want to communicate that as best I can, and I want to spend a goddamn summer focusing on that. So let me read to you how the chapter ends, how our man Leo kind of, the conclusion he comes to after all of this, and then we'll wrap this video up, and I'll sort of tell you what happens next as far as the channel goes. The first thing, this is Leo Hoffman, the inventor, talking, right? He says, the first thing you learn in life is you're a fool. The last thing you learn in life is you're the same fool. In 1 hour, I've done a lot of thinking. I thought, Leo Hoffman is blind. You want to see the real happiness machine? The one they patented a couple thousand years ago? It still runs. Not good all the time, no, but it runs. It's been here all along. But the fire, said Douglas. Don't worry about who Douglas and Grandpa are. They're just like main characters, but you don't need to worry about it. Sure, the fire, the garage. But like Lena said, it doesn't take a year to figure what burned in the garage don't count. Also, the happiness machine burns down in the garage in the end. Spoiler. They followed him up the front porch steps. Here, whispered Leo Hoffman, the front window. Quiet and you'll see it. Hesitantly, Grandfather, Douglas, and Tom peered through the large window pane, and there, in small warm pools of lamplight, you could see what Leo Hoffman wanted you to see. There sat Saul and Marshall playing chess in the coffee table. In the dining room, Rebecca was laying out the silver. Naomi was cutting paper doll dresses. Ruth was painting with watercolors. Joseph was running his electric train. And through the kitchen door, Lena Hoffman was sliding a pot roast from the steaming oven. Every hand, every head, every mouth made a big or little motion. You could hear their faraway voices under glass. You could hear someone singing in a high, sweet voice. You could smell bread baking, and you knew it was real bread that would soon be covered with real butter. Everything was there, and it was working. Grandfather, Douglas, and Tom turned to look at Leo Hoffman, who gazed serenely through the window, the pink light on his cheeks. Sure, he murmured, there it is. And he watched with now gentle sorrow, now quick delight, and at last quiet acceptance, as all the bits and pieces of this house mixed, stirred, settled, poised, and then ran steadily again. The happiness machine, he said. The happiness machine. God, I'm just such a believer that this is the most mystical, magical experience we're all going through right now. And unfortunately, I think the internet can serve as this false happiness machine that points to all the other things that are happening elsewhere. And it becomes far too easy to forget that all this is completely unlikely that you would be able to experience any of it at all. And I really I want to make a bunch of videos. I want to make 4 videos and put my heart and soul into them that just point to the mundane. And I'm really, really excited about it. The truth is, the layout of the video, YouTube is not going to like. It's videos about normal stuff. They're probably going to be about 4 minutes each, 3 or 4 minutes each. YouTube hates 3 or 4 minute videos. And my ask for you is, if you've sat this far through this video, if you've sat this far with me through this experience of making these videos, I would just say, if you see these videos pop up in your feed, I just humbly, graciously would ask you to watch them. I'm putting a lot of thought and heart into them, more so than I have with just about anything else I've made. And it would just really mean a lot to me if you would check these out when I make them. I'm super excited about the idea. Alongside each episode, I'm also making behind the scenes videos. So for each upload, there will be a behind the scenes video. And so there's going to be a ton of videos on my channel throughout the summer. I'm trying to make this the most prolific summer that I've ever had. If you haven't checked out the membership, I am using the money that I'm making with the membership to buy the film for each video. So if you so desire, consider joining. There's hours and hours and hours of bonus videos on the membership, alongside just you knowing that joining means you are literally making these videos possible in a super real way. And then on top of that, every channel member gets their name at the end of every main channel upload. So yeah, that's just a couple plugs I feel like I have to make going into this very big, very expensive, very overwhelming project. And more than anything, if you take nothing else from this video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for watching my dumb videos. Thank you for caring about what I have to say, especially as I go into a video series that I think really has a message people could take a lot from. You have been just overwhelmingly good to me as a whatever audience feels like a dirty word to describe the way I feel about the people who watch my videos. But I'm just humbled every day that I even am able to do half of what I get to do because of these videos. So it means a lot to me, and I'm really excited, seriously. So thank you a million times over, to the moon and back. I am just I'm just thankful. So here's to a great summer.